was just curious, like how I discovered you years ago and started reading your blog. You're really active on Twitter, and now I'm sure you have a lot less time doing stuff. But how has your use of Twitter changed, as you've moved out west and as you have like more demands on your time and you're not doing as much angel investing, obviously?
Yeah. I actually think Twitter has changed, I would argue, which is part of it just Twitter got more popular. And then it also got, like, I think, like, for me, like, the golden days of Twitter were 2010, maybe, or 2011, where it was like a bunch of like early adopter startup people. I think you were on there then, I think.
But you're saying, I guess what you're saying is maybe the nature of the conversations were a little
changed,
more
and everyone, I think, first of all, everyone just realized that now everything we say is gonna, if you say something wrong, it's gonna be excerpted and put on Business Insider or whatever. And so, it used to be this thing, it was like sort of public, but the only people really watching were like other entrepreneurs, and so you could kind of like have this little, like, it's like a chat room among entrepreneurs.
So now it's
right?
hyper public, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so public, stuff gets excerpted and then like blasted out. So I just think everyone is vastly more on guard, and it's just not as fun.
Yeah.
And it has become more of a promotion. I mean, look, I love Twitter and I use it all the time, and
I agree. I agree with you.
It's probably I use it more than almost any other service, but it's become. Do you think so? I feel it's become more promotional.
No. That's why I wanted to ask you the question, actually, because I use it a lot. I mean, it's how I sort of got interested in all this stuff, right, over many, many years. I sort of tune it out between 9 and 6 p.m. because I feel like most people are going into work as it's becoming more popularized and just kind of pushing their own stuff because people are addicted to feeds, so that's what you do.
Which is great for it, and I still use it all the time for, like, I get my news from there, and it's great for that.
Sure.
People tweeting out links and stuff.
Sure.
But I just find the conversation, I don't know, I think so like my theory is it's sort of...
And I know you've been writing about different other forums that sort of maybe don't have the best moderation or don't have the best community around it, right? It seems like you're almost looking for that, or you feel like there's a space in the market.
Well, I think there's a life cycle. I think if you go back to like the old days of like Usenet and BBSs and everything, I think almost every kind of web community has sort of a natural life cycle, probably like a bell curve, right? Where it starts off and just no one's there and it's a ghost town, right? And then it gets to a certain point where it's awesome. And like Hacker News was like this 3 years ago. And then what happens is the trolls and haters and the whatever come, and it goes downhill, right?
Eternal September.
Yeah, and actually, like, we talked to like so interesting, like Joel Spolsky is very sophisticated on this topic. He started Stack Overflow,
right? And
he believes this. I think I think I got this from him. I don't want to misquote him, but and so, for example, Stack Overflow, they're very strict about what you can do. Like, you can't go and chat about using Ruby or Python on Mars and having a theoretical religious battle over computer programming stuff. Okay. It's like all stuff like, what problem did you have at work, and give me a solution, and vote for the best solution, and no snark, and no trolling, and no, right? Because he's like, this is a utility, and I'm going to keep it that way, and I'm going to fight the natural life cycle of internet discussions, right? And I'm going to keep it at the peak of the curve by instituting all of these mechanisms, right? And I think he's right. Like, I think you have to do that because these things just have this natural life cycle. And so I think, like, and I think it's happened. I mean, look, I love Hacker News is a great idea. I love Paul Graham and YC. Sure. But I think Hacker News, like, it's amazing. You put up there, like, some, Superman kills, like, Godzilla or something, and they're, whatever. A nun saves 20 blind children, like the most heartwarming story in the world, and there's a bunch of trolls, like, critiquing the way that happened or something. I mean, it's incredibly negative.
So where do you go then, like that behavior to converse or talk with people? Where is that now shifted for you, or do you more just kind of do it in the hallway here? And
yeah, I think I feel like it's online. I feel like I'm sort of missing something right now. I don't know. What do you think? I think in the startup thing, I mean, Quora has some good stuff sometimes.
Yeah, Quora.
Twitter.
I like Quora. I've converted more to search because it's hard to find and discover things there. I find I use Twitter just like late at night or when people are on who are really kind of doing stuff. Yeah. That's just my own thing.
I have a few, like, there's like a friend of mine just like, he has like a private, it's like a Facebook forum.
Yeah, I do one private Facebook group with like 15 people who just want to talk about early stage stuff.
Like, that's kind of a nice format because you can actually feel like you can sort of speak honestly.
The way I set it up was I'm gonna broadcast here. You can feel free to leave the group or stay in or communicate, but there's no pressure on anything. And then
I think comments on certain blogs like Fred Wilson's.
I use Discuss a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of reverting back to Discuss for me.
That's nice because like Fred's website is probably at the good point in that curve that I
Yes.
was describing. Like it's everyone's civil and trying to be helpful.
He also moderates, right?
He moderates it, and so like in a way that's like sort of an ad hoc, whatever, on demand kind of little social group, and
Yeah.
that can be nice.
Actually, that's probably the answer to the question. That's where I spend more time.